The first skill that toddlers and children have to learn also during the corona pandemic, and especially if your country is in second lockdown, is what I would call emotional acuity. Emotional acuity is basically a concept saying that you have to recognize certain feelings of other people. And there are so many games out there where a toddler can see a face, for example, and can process how this person might feel or how you might feel in that situation. And I see it as a super core competence. It's basically what teaches, what trains empathy further, and I really love the idea of teaching them emotional acuity, so the ability that they can recognize and process emotions of other people, to have the ability to react on that emotions. The second core skill that we have to teach our toddlers, our children, especially in times of the pandemic, is the ability that they can express their emotions. And you can do that as a parent very easily by saying, okay, how do you feel now? And they might answer something like, I am tired, I am angry. But if you continue that process, they will start telling you the emotion directly and will say something like, I am tired, or I'm hungry, or I'm sad, or I'm angry. And this really helps them later in their groups again, in the kindergarten, in the preschool, but also in school, and in your family as well, to have the ability to express their emotions, which is such a critical thing if you want that they have a better communication skill later on. The next skill that we have to teach our children, especially in times of corona, is what psychologists call self-efficacy, a concept introduced by Albert Bandura, which is basically sort of a personal judgment of how well one can execute courses of action required to deal with prospective situations. So what basically means, it's the self-belief and very internal self-belief of that your skill set and that your cognitive strengths are good enough, are well developed enough to overcome obstacles, to have the right determination, and that your abilities are enough to achieve certain goals. The fourth skill that we have to teach toddlers and children in our society is the feeling that every action has a reaction. And that, for example, if they are on the playground and they take a toy away from somebody else, this has a reaction, not just on the other person, but directly also on them. Maybe then, that little boy, that little girl doesn't want to play with him or her anymore, or is angry, or is reacting in some way, or is fighting back. And I normally teach it in a very specific way in my programs, where basically I'm asking one of the children to give me, for example, their pen, and then I would say, okay, take the pen away, take the pen back. And they normally would say, please can you give me the pen, because we were talking about being polite before. And then I would say, no, I don't want to. And then they would say again, please give me the pen. And maybe they would get angry, or they would burst in tears maybe sometimes. And I would say, no, I don't want to give you the pen. And then I would continue and take the pen and would put it in a board where they basically cannot reach it in the very first moment. And then I would say, okay, how do you feel now? And they would have the impression of feeling like helpless. I cannot reach it. And then I would say, sure, you can. There is a chair over there. And if you would just get up on the chair like you always do, you would easily reach that pen. So not feeling helpless in that situation. And health efficacy, we will talk about later, are core competences for future leaders and future success. And the very last skill that we really have to teach our toddlers, children in our trainings concepts, in our trainings, is that failure is just testing. So there is nothing like failure existing out there. So the only thing that we are getting is we get knowledge on not how to do it, and this is just another way of coming further and one step closer towards achieving our goals, our vision, our dream. And then at least they know how not to do it, or what they might or what they maybe can change, so that they achieve their dreams, that they achieve their goals. I really think that's such an important thing to know for them. I always see that it has such a big change.